Hello everyone. My research is entitled University Students Suspected of Having ADD, Examining Self-Awareness and Diagnostic Instruments. My name is Krystan Springette, and my mentor for this project is Dr. Emily Rutherford. It is often a misconception that ADD is a disability that only affects young children. This misconceived notion has led to a growing number of adults having undiagnosed ADD. Unfortunately, due to lack of knowledge, stigmatization, and cultural practice, there are some cases that are undetected, which leaves individuals untreated and exposed to further risk associated with ADD. For university students, these risks may involve the inability to focus on tasks, unable to complete homework assignments, and having trouble finishing up final details for a project. This is not good for university students because their grades then begins to decrease and they may completely withdraw from university. Most would argue that students should be aware of any disability they have so that they can implement strategies and best practices to help them in their education. This would also be easier for professors to assess students. The purpose of my research is to examine the level of awareness among university students about the symptoms of ADD. I am also trying to determine if there is an effective screening tool for university students suspected of having ADD. At the end of this research, the goal is to create a new screening instrument for adults suspected of having ADD. To gather data for this research, we chose to use the qualitative and qualitative approach. For all our research, we examine the literatures that are associated with ADHD and ADD. We also looked at different screening tools that were already established to diagnose persons who are suspected of having ADD. These surveys are listed here. As you can see, there is a CAS self-report survey, the Barley's quick check, the ASRS V1 survey. Based on the new DSM-5 criteria, we also compiled a questionnaire that was given to the participants to gather data on their self-awareness level. After we examined some of the materials, we realized that a large majority of the students have a low level of ADD self-awareness. We also found that there are a lot of students, university students, who have not been diagnosed or who were not tested for ADHD or ADD. We also found that there were some students who think they have ADD but were not certain. So they think they have it based on what they know, but they were not certain. After compiling the data that was received from participants, the ASRS V1 and the Bali quick check indicated that there are students who have ADD, but they were never diagnosed with ADD. Or in a better word, the data shows that this student may have ADD, but they were never diagnosed with ADD. The survey is also consistent with the results of students who were pre-diagnosed with ADD. So those students who were pre-diagnosed and those students who were not diagnosed took the same surveys, and you could see that all the students who were pre-diagnosed with ADD are showing the same symptoms as those who were not diagnosed with ADD. So there is a consistency between these surveys, and we still have one more survey to analyze, and then we'll have a full picture of the data. My preliminary conclusion is that most students are not tested for attention deficit disorder before attending university, which makes them vulnerable for low academic performance. Another conclusion I have is that a large majority of the students have low self-awareness of attention deficit disorder. Thank you for listening.